Okay, I'm standing in front of the Ryerson Physical Laboratory. This was opened in 1894. It was given to the university by Martin A. Ryerson, who was the first chairman of our Board of Trustees. Ryerson gave the building in honor of his father, who was also named Martin A. Ryerson. And the family was a family that had come to Chicago and generated enormous success of wealth. They were in real estate, they were in lumber and timber and various other ventures. And became one of the wealthiest families in Chicago. Martin A. Ryerson Jr., or Martin A. Ryerson, this Ryerson, studied in Geneva. He studied and attended school in the East. He was a very well-educated person. And he's critical to the history of the university because when Harper was trying to put together a coalition of local supporters to develop a fund or funds to match the money that Mr. Rockefeller had offered the Baptists to try to start the University of Chicago, it quickly became apparent that the local Baptist community, who were very God-fearing, they were very devoted people, they were very dedicated people, but they were not very wealthy people. And there was no way that that community was going to be able to generate the kind of matching support that Rockefeller expected to be generated in order to found the university and to stabilize it and to make sure that it succeeded. And so Thomas Goodspeed and Frederick Taylor Gates, who were the lead kind of fundraisers at the time, began to approach men and women outside of the Baptist community. And one of the people they met was Charles Hutchinson, who we'll be talking about later when we talk about Hutchinson Commons, but also Hutchinson then introduced them to his close friend, Martin Ryerson. These were men who knew each other. They had been collaborating in various civic and philanthropic projects, not the least of which was the creation of the Art Institute of Chicago. And for those of you who have visited the Art Institute, you may have noticed that on many of the Old Master and Impressionist paintings in the Art Institute, if you look at the provenance, it will say donated or given to the Art Institute by Martin A. Ryerson and his wife. Ryerson was one of the great collectors of European and American art in the late 19th century, anywhere in the United States, probably one of the preeminent collectors in Chicago. And it's fair to say that the Art Institute today exists because of his patronage and the patronage of families like him. In any event, Hutchinson persuades Ryerson to actually give these Baptist leaders a hearing, and one thing leads to another, and he eventually becomes part of the trustees and then is elected to be the chairman of the Board of Trustees. And one of the responsibilities of being leader of the trustees was to set an example philanthropically. So he gave the money to create this building, which was designed also by Henry Ives Cobb, the same architect who designed Cobb Hall. And it was dedicated to the study and research in modern physics. And Albert Michelson, who was one of our first Nobel Prize winners, had his offices and his research laboratories in this building. Ryerson was very important in mobilizing other families and also in Chicago to support the university. He also developed a very close and, I would say, mutually supportive relationship with John D. Rockefeller in New York. The university was heavily dependent upon Rockefeller's continued philanthropy. And Rockefeller, although he had confidence in Harper, and he was very proud of what the university was accomplishing, New York was far away. We were here. And it took an ongoing set of conversations, I would say mediations, interventions on Ryerson's part to kind of reassure Rockefeller that your investments are sound, good, and things are getting better and better, so please give us more and more support. And I think the very large level of support that the university obtained from the Rockefeller family, which is really astonishing and made possible the creation of this university, was in many cases, to a substantial degree, owing to the very effective diplomatic skills, diplomatic representations of Martin A. Ryerson. Ryerson is also very much a modern person in the sense of believing in the importance of modern science. When the university opened, some of the most prestigious departments in the university were in the natural sciences. And I think it was quite deliberate that he chose, because he could have named this building in honor of any, or given it for any cause, but he chose to give it for the study of modern physics, that is to say modern natural and physical science. It's also a building that is very venerable and much esteemed, and I'm assuming that many of the folks who studied mathematics at the university who may be listening to this video will have memories of visiting faculty or taking classes in the math department, because this is now the home of our Department of Mathematics. Thank you.